Hey, it's Jack here, and today we're in Arizona. We're here at the Petrified Forest in Painted Desert National Park. Let's go check things out. As we walk back, we see this unique piece of artwork. And this way to the visitor center. Here in the visitor center, they have some paintings. And here's some polished petrified wood. And of course they have the gift shop type of stuff too, with the books for the kids. And on this side of the book rack there are books for the adults. Well, I came up and I followed the signs to the visitor center, which is off to the right. Yeah, but if you stay to the left, follow the restroom sign. You go into this building, this has the restrooms, there's a restaurant, and there's a gift shop. As you come in, a restaurant is off to our right, and then off to our left is the gift shop. There's just so many things to look at in the store here. I'll just walk through real quick. They have these things which are petrified wood for your countertop. There's amethyst down here. This looks like wood, but I believe it is sandstone. And they have t-shirts, sweatshirts, and hats back here along the back. Now you're not allowed to pick up petrified wood in the actual petrified forest, but you can buy it here at the gift shop. Come up to this billboard that describes the Painted Desert and how it was formed. As the billboard read, it said this is just a small portion of the Painted Desert. What we can see here, this goes on for several miles out in that direction. Driving up the road a little bit further, we get a better view of some of the Painted Desert. Well, now we're at a location called Newspaper Rock, and up here beside the path it says please stay on paved surface, and that's not a problem. We'll walk down here, see what Newspaper Rock is all about. Well, as we walk up here, we have a billboard that tells us about the petroglyphs that are on Newspaper Rock, and reads more into detail. On these rocks down below there are petroglyphs. I'm going to try to zoom in. I can see some of them with my eye, but I don't know if the camera's picking them up, so we'll get zoomed in on those. And right down there, there's some petroglyphs there. Well, it was pretty cool seeing the petroglyphs there on Newspaper Rock. As you see one, you start seeing more and more and more. Pretty good detail. They do have binoculars that are free to look through. For me, I was able to see them better through the camera zoomed up than through binoculars that the National Park Service provided. There's another billboard about pioneers of paleontology and how they found dinosaur bones out here. This specific area is called teepees. Oh, we're going to go look at the Agate Bridge. So this is the Agate Bridge. Billboard talks about it. We go just above it, we can see it's a petrified log that fell over. Now they've reinforced it so it wouldn't fall apart. But that is, at one point, that was a tree, which is now rock, or petrified. Well, this is what they call the Jasper forest. And right down there, I'm going to zoom in, there's a petrified tree laying right across the desert there. This is pretty amazing out here. There in the distance what looks like rocks. Well, they are now, but at one point those were trees. This was the Jasper forest, or what they call now the Jasper forest. But all those rock formations down there are actually petrified trees. Those are all tree stumps or logs, for as far as my eyes can see. Billboard here put up by the National Park Service talks more about this area. They've got a picture here that's pretty interesting. It shows what it looked like in 1883 and what it looked like in 2013. Different angle of the same thing. Just as far as the eyes can see, we see petrified logs and tree stumps out there in the ground. Just imagine what this would have looked like when this was actually a forest. And here's a different angle of that log we looked at that's laid out earlier. This is the other angle. I was up on top of the hill before. Now I'm at the bottom of the hill looking at the same log. This is called the crystal forest. As the sign reads, collecting petrified wood is prohibited. And we have this billboard telling us about the crystal forest. This is about a 1-mile loop. We're going to go walk and see what it looks like out here. Well, we look off into the distance. It's dark clouds. Also a rainbow. What is rock now? But it used to be trees. And just the end of these trees, just amazing, the coloration. I'm going to walk over here to the left of this viewpoint. And here are more of the petrified logs, petrified trees, petrified wood. It's all the same. So here's a billboard that explains what happened to the trees, petrification. It explains it step by step. And it just walks you through the entire process of how it became petrified. Pretty interesting fact. It says, who cut the wood? It says no one. Settling of the heavy quartz log causes cracks and eventually breaks because it's the shortest distance from for the crack to grow. The logs break perpendicular to their length like a piece of brittle chalk. The repeating perpendicular breaks make the logs look like they were sawed or cut. See what that looks like? We can look straight out there. Now the path goes off that way. We're going to take the shorter loop here off to the right, because it looks like there's a lot of the petrified wood right on this path here. And it's just laying all over the place. Again, for as far as the eye can see, you see the petrified wood out there. It'd be amazing to see what this looks like when it was an actual forest. Due to getting out here late, I'm not going to go through the whole 1 mile loop. I took the short loop around. Park's going to be closing here in about 40 minutes. And I figure by the time I walked around, the park would be closed and they'd be pushing me out the gate. And there's a couple of other stops I want to look at. So we're going to go ahead and head to those stops now. Well, this is the other end of the park where we started. This is called Rainbow Forest Museum. The other trail I wanted to take was closed already because they're just before shutting this place down for the day. We're going to walk around back here. We're going to take a look at this trail of more petrified wood. And currently they're rebuilding the trail, so they ask you to stay out of those areas, and this trail is being rebuilt, the one off to the right. So we'll take the trail off to the left and look at some more petrified wood here. Putting some stone up along the side of the trail here. You can see the petrified log, and these are pretty cool, the various formations that we've seen today. And we can see more of the petrified wood laying across there. And they've done a great job on this path. If you don't have a national park pass, it doesn't cost that much, and you get to visit all the national parks in the year, and it goes to upkeeping the trails and things along those lines. This is looking back toward where we just walked up, you can clearly define the wood, petrified forest, petrified logs, all the same. The trail does go on up there. Rangers up there already checking out to see if people are there, having people turn around and go. So we'll go ahead and head back down. Everything here was a forest at one time. The coloration of these petrified logs are just amazing. And here's the last of our petrified logs for the tour of the Painted Desert Petrified Forest. Hope you enjoyed this walk around tour of the Painted Desert and Petrified Forest here in Arizona. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.